Okay, I think we are live. Hello, everyone. I am down here in the corner today. Let me just see if I can make that a little bit bigger before everybody jumps on here. I will give it a moment. I did post. I posted around on social media to let you guys know I would be going live. I'm just checking the output. Hopefully the sound is fine. We did a test stream with members the other day and my camera is going to follow me. So apologies. It's just what it does for right now. I have to live with it. It's allowing me to be back live streaming with you. And yeah, so it's just the way it's going to have to be today. If you are on, let me know in the comments. And it's going to be kind of hard. My comments are a little ways away from me to read, but hopefully we will be able to see that and read them. Okay, everything looks like I am live. So I'm just going to, yep, stream looks fine. So, okay, I'm sure that people might pop on. This is not my normal day to stream. So I just thought yesterday was kind of crazy. We were puppy sitting a family member's dog, and it was just crazy. It was just crazy around here. There was no way that I was going to be able to stream. But I really wanted to paint. So I thought I will just go live with you today and we will see who shows up. So hi Karen, can you hear me and see me just fine? I'm hoping everything is just fine. Today I'm working with soft pastels. Let me go ahead and let you know which supplies I'm using. This is real time, so if it's something you want to watch and then follow along in a replay, you absolutely can. I have like an idea, I have a concept for what I'm going to paint today, but I don't really have a reference for you. So yeah, it's going to be a great one that you could just kind of watch, follow along, and then go back and paint. So thanks for joining me. Let's talk about our supplies. Today I am using, everything is linked in the description below, unless I grab something that I haven't thought of yet. So I'm going to be using the mini drawing set, and this is Unison. That's this little set right here. These colors I thought were going to be great for some of the shadows and stuff in my mountains that I want to put some snowy mountains in the distance. So I thought those would be a great choice. I'm loving those so far. I am working with, I also pulled out these today, my Pan Pastel Extra Dark set. I got these at the end of last year, and I'm really looking forward to giving some of these a try for some of the underpainting. So I have those on my easel. My easel is by Meeden. I do have that linked in the description below. And the other pastels that I'm using today is this set by Paul Rubens. It is a 72 set of colors. These are handmade soft pastels. I've used these once before and really, really enjoyed them. So I figured I would give them another try today. My absolute favorite set so far as like a really good first set is, hi Virginia. Hi, Lindsay. Looks and sounds good. Perfect. Okay, thank you, Karen. But my absolute favorite set so far for a like beginner set that's pretty well-rounded as far as like giving you darks and lights has got to be the Paris collection by Sennelier. Those are like, so far, that particular collection has been my favorite to use. And in fact, today I was almost like, I went to just grab it. It's absolutely becoming my go-to just because of the amount of colors that are in there and the choices. So there's that. For paper, I am using the one that I showed you guys before. I did test this. It is acid free. It is a sanded paper. And again, it's linked in the description below, but it comes like this. It kind of looks like, almost like it'd be like child's, like made for kids. But I've been loving how stuff applies on it. This was just a piece I had cut off from an old where I was testing some colors and showing you how it blended back in the stream where I shared this paper. So if you are curious and want to know more about this paper and see the testing that I did where I tested it with the pH pen and it is acid free, you can always check that out. It is available for replay. But today I thought, how about some mountains? And my other iPad shut off. I'm going to turn that back on. Hopefully that won't be an issue. I just have like a concept, like I said, that I thought, not necessarily a reference photo. So once this is done, I'll probably update, maybe I'll update the thumbnail so it kind of shows you. So if you're watching this on the replay and I've updated the thumbnail, then you've already seen what the final painting is going to look like, and you know more than we do live right now. I think I'm just going to grab this is one of the Sennelier pastel pencils. Let me just show this to you guys. I've shown it before. This is a full stick. I ordered the set of half sticks, and I have to say that, like, my first impression, I was a little disappointed when they arrived and I saw the size. Let me just show you guys real quick. So I got the full set of 48 colors. These aren't linked below, but you can find these on Blick if they're in stock. I do have a link to Blick in the description. Look at the difference. Let me just pull out the white. So this is the full stick, and this, let me just get those. Okay. And this is the half stick. That just seems like such a big difference. Let me just mark where that is. Look, that's not a full half of the larger stick. And as far as diameter goes, I think I'd have to get a little caliper out and measure it, but I think they're even skinnier than the full sticks. So I don't know if you've been contemplating, do I want the half stick or the full stick on these? Perhaps that will help you make that choice. I'm just going to use the white one to sketch out, put those away. Just an idea of where things are going to go. And then moving things around in here. Again, it's gonna kind of follow me. I'm cold. I know this feels like it wants to run. Sorry. All right. I forgot to grab a paper towel. I'm wearing my Meeden apron today. I love this apron. It is like, you guys, I don't know if that's picking up, but it's like a canvas type material. Yeah, Karen says it's just a baby. So I'm going to have to come close to be able to see you guys' comments. It's so tiny. Those little half sticks, whatever, they are so tiny. I'm just popping some paper towels in my pocket. I like to have paper towels in the pocket. I wish that this would show you. It's not going to. In the front pocket of this apron, it has one on each side. And I like to just put the paper towels in the pockets, like hanging out over, so that I can be cleaning my fingers off. I also keep baby wipes handy, because if I need to clean off my fingers, I forgot to grab them before I started. If I need to clean off my fingers, I usually just grab one of those. And if you don't like the texture or feeling, the pan pastel or the soft pastels, you know, you can always grab yourself some gloves. I don't like to wear gloves. I always thought like I wouldn't like the soft pastels on my fingers, but I have to tell you that after doing a few pieces, it's not bothering me anymore. And I'm loving it. So I also have some of my soft tools out. Let me bring this over so you can see. I got my little roundabout that I got from Five Below. It has all the different colors on it. These actually come out. So if I just wanted one thing, like if I just wanted these brushes, I could take that piece out. But I loaded this one with stuff that I would use when I'm doing a pastel painting. And I have some of the handles for my soft tools, but I've got to say, I don't recommend leaving these out, because these that had let me put this back down. These tools here, they've gotten really hard. They're not soft like they used to be. I do have others that I can slide on them. I thought they were right here. They might be in my drawer. That's okay. I'll just grab these generic ones because I have some that I ordered a set. I ordered like these tools. These are like this is very stiff. I don't know how to describe what that feels like. It's definitely textured. It's like bristly. And this is just like a foam. And it came with 2 sizes. Right? And that's great you might see me grab one of these today as far as like if I need to lift something out. Those are good for that. I also have some little, these brushes. I haven't linked those below. I said I linked everything below. All right, I fibbed. Because I didn't link those below. But these were just some other tools that I got. And like, you look at these, the soft tools. Yeah, see that broke when I took it off. That's how just got like dry and brittle. So yeah, I definitely don't recommend leaving them on your tools where the air is going to dry them out. Let's see, compared to the soft tool, they're just a little bit smaller. And, I do have the pointed one. The pointed one is a lot smaller. So I thought it would be great for, like fine details. I don't know. I've collected a bunch of tools last year for working in soft pastels because I really wanted to do some more of that this year. So I'm just going to prepare these just in case I do need them. And it came with, the covers. Now this is sanded paper. So if I use these, I am not going to be pressing hard at all because it will tear these up. But these are pretty affordable. Will they hold up as well as soft tool covers? I can't say yet because this would be the first time I'd be using them. But we'll see. We will see. All right. And I'm gonna move you for just a moment here. Apparently I must have bumped my camera. But let's see if I can do that. There's the easel. So this easel that I'm using by Needin, there's a drawer on this side that it locks and it will slide out. And I am actually considering having Lou work with me to redesign some stuff on this easel so that I can take it out for plein air with pastels. I'm going to take this off so I can move my, oh my goodness, it really grabs a hold. Okay. So I'm going to move you here just so I can show you. It has a locking. You have to actually push it in and turn it. And then this drawer has pieces. So I could divide and there's my messy floor. I could divide and organize this drawer and put my soft pastels in it. But in order to do that and travel with this, I would absolutely need to make sure that I had something I could put down on top of my pastels so they wouldn't fall. show you what I mean, because these legs fold up underneath and you have the handle. You can carry it like kind of like a suitcase. I'm really liking the easel. And the only thing I don't like, see here, I had to put on, that is an MDF panel that you can paint on. And I left the plastic on it so I can still use it in the future. I just taped my work down. And then the way this easel is, oh my goodness, sorry for the shaking and moving. You see these, that is how it holds your panels. It's just a little notch there. And they're so wide, let me back that out for you. They are so wide that is like a 16 by 20 size panel. That's really a distance to span. And if you don't have that, there's nothing to set it on. So I'm going to see if I can't have Lou make me something smaller that I could hook into those little notches and then be able to hold something smaller. And this is just a wrapping paper tube. I found one. Lindsay suggested to me, hey, try a wrapping paper tube to like, that's what will catch my pastel dust. Because then I take that dust and I put it into a mason jar and collect it so that in the future, I can create a new soft pastel with it that will be like, it'll be like a gray, but hey, it'll be my special gray. And then it has has a table that you can pull out on this side. And I just have my Paul Rubens set there. So that is this little easel. And I need to, okay, what did I do? Oh, I've got to flip it. That's what I have to do. All right, I'm going to flip you. I'm so sorry. No, I don't. I was thinking I flipped it and I didn't. There, let me get you back where you need to be. Oh my goodness. Many apologies for that. I don't like to move things around. And if you're somebody who gets dizzy with cameras moving, I do apologize. But I thought it'd be interesting to see that easel. I need to readjust. Somehow I've moved it completely from where we were set up in the beginning. And it's going to be a little distorted, but I will share a photo of it with you after. Okay, as long as you guys are going to be able to see it. Let me just, I don't have the control that I used to have with my MacBook and my other streaming software. With that, I could completely change exactly the frame that you're seeing. I could manipulate all of that, and I just don't have that ability at this moment, but there we go. The dual-ended foam tool set. Yeah, I'll tell you what I think about them, because I've ordered a few. I actually have a few of these. They came in a case like this, and I've put other things in it now. Obviously, I have like the soft tool with the replaceable applicator ends there. But these, two of them came in a plastic container like this with the paper blending stumps. And I thought, I've gotten more. Lou had got me some extras for Christmas. And I thought those might be really great for working with the pastels, especially this really rough one. I think that would knock your pastel back off easily, whether you're working on a sanded paper or pastel mat, or any other, surface for pastels. So let's go ahead and sketch this in so I can get this thing painted. I don't think it'll take too long today. Famous last words. All right, so I'm thinking some mountains in the distance, and we're just gonna roughly sketch some mountains in. I'm looking, I do have an image that I was, where I had sketched them already, and I kind of liked the shape of those. That's what I'm kind of going for here. But you know, mountains are... You make yours any old shape you want. They might morph from that, but hey, there's some mountains. And I want this to have a ridge line. Okay, I have no idea why. Why did that just flip? I don't even know what just happened there. It's that. You never know what's going to happen live. It's so much fun. So much fun. No, that's not what we want. Wow. Okay. I'm on the wrong camera. You're looking at my curtain. So there's the view outside my studio. My gosh. I don't know why this is doing what it's doing. Unless I just hit it, which I didn't think I did. But maybe. Are we having fun yet? Are we having fun yet? Good stuff. Let's see if we can't bring that in a bit. All right, well, guess what? It is what it is, but I think you're seeing kind of a little better angle. You're seeing a little bit more of what's around. I wanted it zoomed in a little bit, but okay. So we have mountains. I probably hit it because it's like, you see how close it is. This is not normal for me. So I like probably bumped you and spun it around. I don't even know. All right. What I was saying is I want to have kind of like a ridge that's going to come. Sure. Something like that. And we'll end up having like some trees, like a tree line in here, of course. You know, I've got to have trees. And, oh, I'm going to bring this down lower, out there. And bring them back up. Do you love the sound of sanded paper? Do you? Let me know in the comments. Or like, it's like, no, I don't like the sound of when I work on sanded paper. These will, it's just, you know, I'm just trying to get like the height in of where I'm going to want my trees. Okay. And I'm thinking that these are kind of going to have, we're going to have like a field, right? That's, I'm picturing this. This is not, to me, is not picturing like a main mountain scene. Let's let that one go that way. But more like if I was out west in the Rocky Mountains, which I've never been to necessarily. Well, I've kind of driven through because I've driven completely cross country once. But we took like the old Route 66 and yeah, the sound of creativity. Yeah. Hi, Wildflower. Wildflower says, I love the sound. And anyway, so we, you know, they were in the distance. So to actually get like all the grandeur that is the Rocky Mountains, I think I kind of missed out on that a little bit. But all right, so that's what I'm thinking. And here we're gonna have some grass, and then I'm thinking we're gonna put some flowers in the front. What flowers? I don't know. I was thinking spring. I was thinking that this is gonna be, you know, like that transition. We can see the snow on the mountains, but yet the grass is starting to grow. Flowers are starting to sprout. But we're transitioning to spring. I want to be transitioning to spring and out painting. And it's not that. It's not that here. We're not going to have that for a while here. All right. So let's just start. Now that I have kind of there's just a quick outline, right? This is just a guide. These are fictitious mountains. Any coincidence to a real area is that coincidence. So I'm just going to start by putting in some color from my sky here. I do not have to press hard at all. I'm using the wide side of my pastels. You see it'll flatten out, and I've used this one before, but it will on this type of paper as well. This paper definitely will grab hold. Right now we're just going to kind of do our underpainting. This paper will take a wet wash, and I will show you that. I thought about using some of the reason that I pulled out the extra dark set on the pan pastels was for what I'm about to do. On this set, let me just show this to you again. I wanted some really nice darks for like the shadow, the rock that's showing through, or the shadow colors in my mountains. And this set just doesn't quite have the darks that I want. For the way that I like to work. I felt at that time, I felt that I bumped that camera. So I went ahead and grabbed the Pan Pastel Extra Dark set, because these, I think, have some colors that will be great, these here, for the shadows in my mountains. And I think we're going to go with, oh, this isn't going to want to pop. They're not going to want to pop out easily on me to tell you what colors I am using. So I think I'm going to go with, what is that? The Payne's Gray Extra Dark, which is this one. And I'm thinking this one, because I'm picturing my sun's coming from this way. Like maybe that's east and I'm facing south. There's sunrise. I'm thinking sunrise. I would never be up early enough to see this. Rarely ever. I have to make a goal. And so this is the Burnt Sienna Extra Dark here. I'm thinking like those colors there. So I'm going to put my mountains that are further in the distance, like this one. Let's see how this does. So I'm not really dragging, I'm kind of tapping. Now, if that doesn't work so well, that's where I felt that this set here by Unisom will really work nicely. This blue is probably going to be a very nice one for my shadows. I don't know why my other iPad's not staying. It should be staying on. I have a program open, but it's like, nope, you're not touching me. I'm not staying on. So if this doesn't, then like this guy probably would work really well. It would be a lot faster to use that one, that's for sure. But I was really excited to try out these extra darks. So I'm just going to put these down. And we're definitely going to want, what are these two? Let me just double check. I love that this easel has a removable metal tray. So if I get pastel dust down in there, again, I can just dump it right out. I can just tap it and it'll dump out into. So I have phthalo blue extra dark and ultramarine blue extra dark. Those are probably the other two blues you're going to see me use. So here, put that. Yeah, I think it will be faster if I use the other ones. Of course, these are going to be my shadowed side of my mountains. And you get, I mean, you definitely, you feel it catch on that sanded paper. So I'm not dragging it. I'm like tapping to put that color in there. That was the Payne's Gray Extra Dark. I think this other one is Raw Umber Extra Dark. So that's going to be the other one you're going to see me. I'm not even worried about cleaning this in between. These are my darks. And I'm happy to just to let them look at that gorgeous color. I love this paper because you can definitely do a lot of layering on here. Where our mountains will really start to take shape is when I come back through and add the lights on top. Oh, excellent. Wildflower says that she was gifted some gently used pastels for the holidays. So perfect timing. Oh, that's wonderful. I fell in love. Be careful. Like, I just absolutely, I went and saw a demonstration with some pastels in person. A pastel artist last year and just absolutely fell in love with the medium. I had some, picked them up, started using them, and was just like, yes, this. I think it was seeing her technique that, you know, how she applied them and how she went about it, that I was just like, I need this. I need this in my life for sure. All right, I'm going to grab the Unisom, this one here, and this is just like it's a gray. I don't know how well that's showing up, but it's a gray. And this paper here is just going to be for me to test things if I need to. All right, and I want to put that in some of this lower area. And again, I'm working with my darker values right now. Just trying to decide where exactly I want that to be. This blue is such a gorgeous blue in that set. You can see, like, I've already, you see that? It's getting nice and flat on one side from using it on sanded paper. But I really have enjoyed the Unisom pastels. definitely shadowed. It's going to be a much cooler values. I'm putting this lighter at the top because I'm just picturing the rock that, any rock that would show through the snow up here, is going to be catching that sun. It's definitely going to be lighter. This is that burnt sienna extra dark. I don't have a really good dark brown in my Paul Rubens set or in that Unison set. So definitely these two, the extra dark raw umber and the extra dark burnt sienna, are going to be my choice. The reason they make so many colors in your pastel sticks is because it is really hard sometimes to get just the one. Like that's a little too bright, but I want kind of like a muted blue, but I can blend some stuff together. I think it's going to be fine. This is very similar to the color I used in my sky. And I just leave them standing upright when I put them back in the foam holder so I know which colors I've used. And it's easy to kind of come back to them. This is my ultramarine blue, extra dark. Just kind of blend those together. I'm probably going to grab some rubbing alcohol here in a minute to lock down this underpainting. And you can use water to do this. When you see me do that, what I'm doing, you can use water. So that is definitely an option if you don't want to work with rubbing alcohol. The reason behind rubbing alcohol is because it dries faster. And I have a one of those metal containers, and I just I keep some rubbing alcohol in that. I have brushes that I use specifically for pastel. And this is the ultramarine blue. I think I'm going to stick with the ultramarine. I don't think I'm going to bring the phthalo blue in. I'm liking the look of the ultramarine better. It's going to be cooler values in the painting, but it's a warm blue. I don't know. I love ultramarine. And I'm not overly worried about the exact placement of where I'm putting some of this. I just want shadow colors for my mountains. And so far, you see, we're starting to get some dimension. Now, mixing ultramarine with that burnt sienna, I could end up, when I bring in the rubbing alcohol, it could blend and I could end up with, you know, grayed out values. It's fine. I'm not going to worry about it. It's just the underpainting. And then I want for my trees, what is this green? This is permanent green, just permanent green extra dark. I'm going to use that. Why not? I'll end up bringing Payne's Gray in with this as well to darken up my values. But this is where I'm going to want my trees to be. You see, I'm just tapping in. I'm working on like the height. It's going a lot further away from me. I'll do some work on defining my trees better when I bring in the alcohol. Now I just want the pigment in the general area where it's going to go. And that's pretty green. So I want to bring in my Payne's Gray extra dark. And we're going to cool that down a bit. Okay. Because the further things are away from us, they definitely go bluer. Because of the atmosphere between you and whatever you're looking at. And again, this is all background. So I try to remind myself, don't take so much time on your background because it's the background. It doesn't need the detail. Okay. I'm thinking spring flowers. So what would we see in a meadow in spring? Maybe like some crocus, daffodils. Would we see that in a field? I mean, I guess if somebody planted them there. All right, and my field is going to be in front of this area. I have a nice pastel fingerprint on my iPad. Okay. I thought I had, oh, I do. I didn't want to wipe my face with my hand. Let me check chat for a minute. Lupins, I guess they're kind of springy, aren't they? Yeah, we do get lupins here in Maine early. Maybe lupins, those would be pretty in a field. I love lupins. Definitely tulips, yeah. Yeah, definitely, definitely some tulips could be. We're not going to need a lot of detail on these, but that's why I think maybe lupins would be perfect because we don't need a lot of detail to, convey lupins. Let's go ahead and put down, I don't know that this is going to be dark enough, but this is where I want there to be grass here. That needs to definitely cool off for the distance, but we're just starting to put in some color. That makes it feel like spring, doesn't it? I'm working with this, it's kind of like a greenish, a green gray. It is in that Paul Rubens set. And I just want a darker green. What about this one? What is this? This is actually bright yellow green, extra dark. I'm gonna use some of that. I'm just gonna I'm wiping my tool off here on one of those paper towels that I have hanging from my apron pocket. Let's bring some of this in here. Yeah. I think that's going to be, that would be a nice color as we work. I don't have this a color like this in that Paul Rubens set. Again, so far the Sennelier are my favorite. That Paris collection is my favorite set for kind of a well-rounded, if you don't have any pastels, soft pastels yet, and you want to get some softer pastels. Now, a lot of people they'll start at this point, they'll be using their harder pastels. And that is something, that's fine if that's the way that you work. But that is something that it's a little different when you're using the kind of the technique that I am doing. I find that the softer pastels tend to blend out easier for my underpainting when I'm using a softer pastel versus a harder pastel, like say a Rembrandt or a new pastel, something like that. I'm just adding some of the Payne's Gray extra dark in here. I want to get some shadows back there. I'm thinking that I'm still going to have, maybe there's still some little patches of snow that haven't melted yet. weekend. I want to work on, I'm using the underpainting is going to be, obviously it's going to be the, you know, local color, but I want to also have like, we're going to see more detail up here, and I'm going to have areas where I need those shadows. So I want my darker values put in ahead of time. All right, let's make a mess. So I keep my alcohol in a little metal pot like this, and I just have it labeled so that I know what it is. And I'm looking, there is a little bit, like, sure, it tore that up tiny bit. I can see like some fraying on the end of that. And this paper is a rougher texture than, say, like the UART 400. It's a little bit rougher than that. Not a whole lot, but I think maybe a little bit. Karen said the green is so cheerful. Yeah, gosh, it's going to be a bit before we see green here, huh? Okay, and I just want to grab a paintbrush. That one, and I might need one that has a little bit more, a little smaller. Okay, so these are just, they're soft. This is a Zen by Royal Langnickel. It's a watercolor brush, but these ones I don't use for watercolor. And this is actually an old acrylic brush. It's an Art Echo brush. I had this set forever and I loved them. They're just starting to get loose now a little bit on the ferrules, but I loved these brushes, but I don't really paint with the acrylics anymore. So I was like, I'm just going to throw them in to my, brushes for my pastels. Okay, so I just get my brush wet and I'm going to start in my lightest areas. So definitely up here, like, right, my sky. I want to get that. What I am doing right now is I am dissolving that color, that pigment, and isn't it like paint? You notice it has gotten darker. It's okay if it runs down. I'm not going to get too worried about it. I try not to come at it with too wet of a wash there. My paper is about, this is like an A4 size. It's the 8x11 page, and I have it taped off so that I can, my finished painting will be able to be matted with like an 8x10. Like, you know, the 8x10 mats are slightly smaller. So this is something I would be able to put in, say, an 11x14 frame with an 8x10 mat, and it would work. Now, if you're, look at that color. That went beautiful. If you're sitting here thinking, wow, that makes your colors darker. It does. It does, but when they dry, they usually go back to be. I have found that with the pastels I've done this with so far, that they come back. Like they're light, the lighter values when they're dry come back. So, and again, like this is my underpainting. This is the only time that I use the alcohol. Look at how that changed. I'm like trying to remember which one that was. That was this one. in the Paul Rubens set, this color. You can really see the blue come through when I do that. But you watch, it will come back. It will lighten back up. And again, that's why I'm using the alcohol, because it dries so much faster than if I came in with, say, some water. And I'm going to just pull that color kind of the way that I want the mountain to go. Hi, Tara Dreams. I think I could have put a little bit more pastel in here. And it may be because I was using the pan pastel. Normally, when I put my pastel in like that, when I do my underpainting, I'm not seeing my paper through it. But I'm not going to worry about it too much because I'm putting a lot of lighter values on top of that, so I think it's going to be fine. Oh, actually, I want my smaller brush so I get the lighter values in here first. Like I said, these can mix because I did bring that blue in with the brown, so they may make kind of like a grayish color, but that's okay. This is where my trees are going to be, so I'm just going to now switch direction. Back, do the same thing on this other side. This does have this little pot that has my alcohol in it. I do have the piece on the inside that has the little holes in it. So I'm rubbing my brush on that, and all the pigment that could be in there is just falling to the bottom. And eventually I can take that pot when the alcohol's gone and let that dry out. And then I'm going to have pigment that I can use again. I can take that pigment out, put it into my mason jar, and it will be added into what'll end up becoming some, you know, unique Clark gray. Whatever color, you know, it's going to be. Because I'm not mixing it. I could save them, like, if I was only working, say I was only working with blues, or if I had an easier way to remove my, see how light they got again? Were you watching, or did you just now notice? So if I was, say I was only working with blues, I could save just the blues in one container and, you know, keep the pigments separated so that I'd have like just some unique blue or some unique green or what have you. But I'm not worried about it. It's going to take me, I think, some time to collect the dust, and I'm just going to keep collecting it, and then eventually I'll make a new soft pastel, and it'll be a gray, and it'll be unique to me. So again, you saw how light that green was, and it could come back to being nice and light again once this dries. But we're just getting our underpainting done. Oh, so the purpose for this is that if we go over this with the alcohol, we're getting all of that tooth back. And we're kind of locking down this layer. Like once this dries, I'll show you, I can touch it. So right now my fingers are relatively clean. If I touch here, you see I'm pulling that color off. Once this alcohol dries, I'm not going to be pulling off color like that just by, like, I barely touch that. And it's like, see, lots of pastel dust. It won't be like that. And again, I'm changing how I'm doing this because I know in the front, my foreground, I'm going to have grasses that are going, right? It's going to be taller. It's going to be closer to me. We're going to be looking, our point of view is down here, almost ground level. I want that to really kind of push the other stuff back. So we're not going to be afraid, especially if we do lupins. I love the idea of lupins. So we'll be thinking lupins. Right? And taller grasses. It's long. Nobody mows this field. It's just coming up. I don't know why we might still have snow in the distance, but maybe there's only snow on the mountains. Maybe that's the only place that there's snow left, and we have this lovely grassy field. Okay, so I need this to dry now. And my tape, of course, is like, hey, I want to come undone. The paper has puckered just a little bit, like right here. It's not a big deal. It's not a big deal at all. I'm just going to lay these brushes. And I love the table that you can slide out on the right side of this easel. It has little notches all along it. So if you need to rest your paintbrushes, they're not going to roll away. And I'm definitely hoping that I can get this modified so that I can take it out plein air painting this year. I mean, as it is right now, I could. Right? I don't have to do the modifications I am thinking about, but I think they would just make my life easier if I did. Okay, so our sky is dry. Oh, and that's, okay, let me just make sure my hands semi-clean. So, right, if I touch up here like I was touching down there, now that that's dry, see, I don't have that light color. And even if I go into like my darks, it's not all over. Not like when it was down here. Like when I touched down here, like the pastel, it would be like that before the alcohol wash. So the alcohol really kind of locks that in. Yeah, Clark Gray. Let's see. I'm just catching up on the chat real fast while I let this dry. And let's see how the green is coming back. It's getting lighter again. Wildflower says, I need to find some open stock pastels to replace colors missing from my set. Yeah, definitely check Blick. I don't know what brand pastels you have, but I would definitely check Blick. What I did was I ordered some Sennelier open stock, but I can tell you that the Sennelier open stock versus like when you buy the half stick sets of Sennelier, the half stick sets seem to break easier and they're not as they're not as crumbly or anything. And the full sticks, you break those and they seem to be a little bit dusty when you break them. But that's what I did for colors that I needed, that I felt maybe weren't in that set. All right, let's work on our sky. I think I want a little bit more. It's looking a little like purple. I want to bring it a little bit more blue. So we are going to just bring in some blue. And got some white here. I'm gonna bring some of this in. And then I'm gonna blend this out. I'm not gonna be too fussy about it. So I say. It's just gonna be, it's the sky. It's gonna be fine. I'm not going for a cloudscape, so I'm not overly concerned with, it doesn't need to be perfect. Okay, I brought up, oh, I have some right here. I've used these before. These are just they're little pieces of styrofoam that come in packaging, right? They're just little packing, I guess, peanuts. They're not solid. They're just, boop. Well, that really zoomed it in there, didn't it? Now if we can get back to what we're doing over here. I did not want it to zoom in. I might have to fix that. Yeah, boy. Let's see if we can fix that. I don't want auto zoom. I want that to be off. Wow. All right, I guess we're going to, unless it moves again, we're just going to move the camera. You're going to see it up close, that's all. All right, so I just take this, any color that might be on here, I'm just wiping that on my paper towel to make sure, you know, because I'm seeing like a green there I don't want in my sky. So yeah, I'm just gonna wipe that off. This just protects my finger when I'm working on sanded paper. I'm not going to worry about if I get into my mountains, with the exception that I don't want to pull the color of my mountain up into my sky. I can certainly come back through with some more lighter values for my sky. Definitely thank you to everyone for your patience as I am learning this new software and stuff that I'm using. It is very different. Eventually I will be back to what I had before. I just want to lighten this up some. So I'm just going to pull in some more white into our sky. There we go. That's better. That's better. I want that to be a little softer. This is just like a mop brush. You can see it's a little coarser, but it's fluffy. The bristles are a little coarser. Right? I just want to come in here and just kind of just lightly tapping. The other thing I don't care for is, you see, I'm getting dust. Like, my dust is not falling off. My dust is falling. It's hitting, because my board's not slightly forward. Usually if your board is slightly forward, any pastel dust is going to fall away from your painting, not on your painting. But it's also why I'm working from the top down. There we go. Just wanted to blend that sky out a little bit. It's not perfect, but I think it's fine. Maybe put some clouds in areas where maybe I wasn't liking it exactly. Yeah, I'm not thrilled with that, which is not a big deal. This is not a problem. This is a little bit stiffer brush that I'm grabbing, right? Because now look, it never happened. You just kind of tap that right out there. Never happened. It's fine. I think it's a very forgiving medium. Just brush that off now so that I don't forget and then go to use it again another time and it's full of blue pigment. Just gonna smooth that out a little bit. And tight foam, packing styrofoam is great for this. It definitely saves the skin on your fingers. All right. All right, let's define our mountains. Okay. Let's see. I'm wanting a warmer white. That one, oops. This one looks like it might be a little bit, it's not quite, oh, the one in there, the Unisom, this one, that's going to be a lot warmer because the snow that I'm going to have on my mountain here, I want it to catch that light. Remember I said I want to be able to see maybe some of the rock face of the mountains coming through. Yeah, horsewoman, they will. These little packing peanuts, they will work just like the plumbing insulation. Absolutely. So yeah, today I was just thinking, you know, I want, I see MJ Pete's question. Looks dreamy. Did she say anything about her vision for the painting? It's still very much winter for us here in Maine, and it's going to be for a while. And I was just thinking, you know, snow on the mountains, but yet let's have some flowers starting to come up in a field. It's still cold, but spring is coming. Okay, now I want a much cooler white. So I'm grabbing this one, which is it's not quite pure white. Of course, mine are dirty. It's not quite a pure white. Actually, I want something that's a little bit cooler. I'm gonna use this one, which is actually more of a really pale, almost lavender. I'm gonna use this for some of the white on my distant mountain because I want it to be further away. And I'm going to want more. The darker blues on the back side. So that is one thing that I definitely believe that the, yeah, that's too bright. The Paul Rubens 72 set, it's just missing. That's the only place where like it's lacking darks. But you know, it is only a set of 72. I say only. That sounds like a lot of colors, but you will quickly find when you're working with pastels that you're just looking for just that right color. And it might not be there. And you can mix them. This is some white. I don't want to put it on this side. This is going to definitely on my shadowed side. I'm going to bring a little bit into here. Again, this is my closest mountain, and I want that sun to be coming up and hit. And if it's sunrise, then I'm facing south. But if you think this is a sun's, you know, this later in the afternoon, the sun's going down, then I could be looking north. I brought that a little bit further forward than I want to. And anytime if you do something like that, it is not a big deal. Just grab yourself a brush and let's just Let's just back that up a little bit. I think we can back that out. And this is like a scrubber. It's a soft. Again, this is the Zen Royal Langnickel Royal and Langnickel brand. Like words not coming. So if I want to like really get my edge, if I want to smooth some of this out, you see I am having a lot of dust falling. But if I want to blend, my colors, I can. This is lifting some of it out. This is a good way to scrub out and remove. Maybe if you're like, oh, you know what, I liked kind of what I had before. Let me remove some of that. That would be a great tool to use to do that with. I really want like a very pale blue, and I'm just not seeing one in the pastels I have out here. Not the value that I want, but we're just going to work with what we have. And it's going to be fine. I wonder if grabbing my Sennelier, that hard one I used to sketch in the beginning. I forgot to bring up my maul stick. I had Lou. Yeah, no, it's not what I want. It's not giving me what I want right there. I had Lou get me a dowel that I want to turn into a maul stick for this purpose. So I could be setting it on my, and holding my hand up there. I forgot to bring that up. That's okay. All right. Let's just move along. Moving along. I'm doing these first because I'm going to want to pull this on top. Try to keep these pushed back. Now I'm going to bring some of that warmer, because again, my light is going to hit into these. And this will also blend. some of the pastels I already have on there. Using the direction of my strokes to really define the shape of that mountain. Blending some of those colors together. With the tooth filling up, it's not as hard on my fingers now as it would have been, like, say, in the beginning. It would have been much harder then. Look how nice and soft that just makes it. Okay. Okay, and I'm going to come back in with my pan pastel, I think. Again, this is the extra dark set. We're friends. Horsewoman says, I forgot you are Lindsay's neighbor. I mean, I guess in Maine terms we could be. Like, there's a little bit of a distance between the two of us here in Maine, but you know what? There's a lot is like that in Maine. But we don't live far from each other, no. Look at that. Okay, that is starting now. I keep kind of looking up at my monitor to see, is it shaping up the way that I want it to? I really like the nice muted colors I'm getting. I thought I grabbed the wrong tool, but it was the tool that I was using. Hi, Rob. Yeah, I'm using Pan Pastels today, the extra dark set. I am using the Paul Rubens Handmade 72 set. Everything is linked below. Just bring that right up to that edge. I'm just using the tools that are like my soft tools to blend this shadow side in here. There we go. And let's bring there we are. Come back over here, see if we can't blend this one a little bit more too. Okay, I haven't put the color on the back side of our closest mountain yet. We'll do that in just a second. I just want to see if I can get the blending that I wanted better with these. I'm using a little bit of what was on my tool to put maybe some highlights on the shadow side. Okay. Just wiping that off on the paper towel that I have hanging off my apron here. Blending out some of this. And that is just blending it really nicely. Again, these are, it's not Soft Tool brand. It was a generic brand. So it's also not as spendy as Soft Tool brand. So I'm not too worried if I tear one of these tool, you know, the applicator. I'm not too worried if I tear one up because I'm using it on my sanded paper. All right, I like that a lot better. Let's go ahead and we need to get some light colors in here on our shadow side. This is definitely going to let me kind of define that edge so I can push the that other mountain back further. Bring a little bit more shadow down in here. Right, because the lower we get, the less snow we're going to have if we have a grassy field. I'm just looking at the time, and man, I definitely can get lost in time working with soft pastels. Because I was hoping I'd be finished now. I haven't even got my grass in. Yeah. I am someone who likes to work a la prima, right? I want it done. One and done. I want to go. I want to get it finished. I want to be... Bring a little bit of that green in there because we're about to bring that green into our foreground. There we go. None of these are mountains I would want to climb. Maybe, how about this? Maybe, let me put a little bit in, I think I'm going to bring this one down. Yep. And perhaps there's one that cuts this off back here. I don't need this to be, I don't need to worry too much about that. We're going to change something up. Because I don't know if you're familiar, but I know around here, I call it snog, snow fog. So when there's lots of snow still around and the temperatures are warming up, we end up with very foggy conditions sometimes. And that's what I call it, snog. It's like snow fog. Fog from the snow. Just grabbing some pan pastel. I'm just mixing a few colors here just to create the dark that I want for the edge of this kind of hill in the distance here. And let's blend this. Okay. Let's bring in some fog. And then I'm going to say this is morning time because the sun is coming up. It's going to be hitting what snow might be left. It's going to make some foggy atmosphere. Let's bring some of that in. Why not? I want some over here. I just think this will be fun. Remember, I'm going to put trees in front of this, of course. So we're just going to kind of blend this out. Just wiping my tools off. Are you going, what on earth? No, it's ruined. It's not ruined. It's also not quite looking like fog like I want, so we're just gonna come in with another layer. We're gonna blend this. I'm gonna blend this in. Just kind of tapping and rubbing this around to like push that into the tooth of my paper. next I'm going to come in with my white. Remember those trees we put in the underpainting? They're still there somewhere. We'll bring those back out in a moment. I'm just kind of mixing these on my paper. And I'm wanting it to look foggy. I want some areas lighter than others. We kind of bring some up. I don't know, does it feel like fog? Just doesn't feel smooth enough to me. But again, I need to remember, this is my background. And I am about to put trees in front of that. All right, let's go ahead and do that. I want, see where I've got like, there's a dark spot there already. I'm just going to work with that. Right now I'm using my pan pastel because remember that is some of my darkest values are in my pan pastels right now. Because if I put these, like use this, I can put the bones in, like where I want my trees to be. It's very light. My trees are not going to be that light. But we're going to put the green in the background. Just to kind of mark where I want my trees to go. I keep adding in some different values. These trees are in the distance. I do not have to make this. The eye knows that there's trees back there. It's not going to have to be detailed. Just doing some mark making. And did I mention that pastels have some really ugly stages? This is an ugly stage. Now let's get some darks in here. I'm going to come back in a moment with my soft tool or my blending tool and do some work on these. So just getting color in here. It did not have, the set does not have exactly what I am looking for as far as in a green. So I'm just going to mix and work with what I have and make my own. And that's going to be okay. I think I want a little bit. I'm going to come in with my Payne's Gray because I am pushing these back. So I'm putting Payne's Gray on my tool as I come in to blend these colors. Yeah, great. Will it ever turn the corner, leave that ugly stage behind? I feel that for sure. I would really like more blue in this, so I'm gonna use this is the blue from the Unison set that I have linked in the description. Really want to get some cooler values in here. Here we go. I'm bringing the same on this other side here. All right. I want this to feel much further in the distance. So I don't want, let me see if I can shift where you guys are seeing now. There we go. So I don't want to worry about too much detail. I'm not going to let that overwhelm me. And now I'm just kind of blending this in. I want to soften this up. I'm not seeing any specific tree details. These are very far, I can't talk today, very far away from me. Hopefully once I get these trees in, the rest is just gonna, famous last words, but hopefully go quickly. All right. Now let's get our distant. I'm going to get a little bit of, I think I'm going to bring in a little bit warmer green. Just kind of, right, sun's coming up. We want some warmth hitting in here. Let's bring in maybe more yellow green. Of course, the yellow green I was using earlier, the extra dark, is still great when I blend and for getting some shadows in. I want to start bringing some warmth into this. There we go. This is the same, that same warm white that I used up here on this mountain. And I'm going to bring that here as well. That light's coming through. I remember, there could be, is there still some snow out there? Maybe. I'll leave that to you, the viewer, to decide. Is there still snow back there? Let's really, you know, that brand new fresh grass that starts growing. First grass of the season. We all can't wait to see start poking up. And I'm keeping my strokes at this point very horizontal. But now let's switch to our foreground. I'm liking that. Let's put a little bit more though. Get just a little bit of this in here. Again, I'm not working from a reference today. I am just working from imagination, wishing, hoping that spring is in our near future. Take that warm ultramarine blue and maybe use that for a few shadows. Okay. Are you hearing them? I just saw the message. I can see my messages pop up, and I can hear the dings on the stream. Yes, so my group chat with the girls is going off. That's what you might be hearing. That's okay. All right, so now I'm just going to work with some of these greens, and we're just going to have we're just going to think tall grasses. This is up close to us, right? We're just going to make some marks. Not going to be too worried about this. Right, not going to let it get me. Some highlighting. And we're going to put some flowers in here. Just working with the various greens I've already worked with. Just going to bring that right down off my paper. Coming back for the greens, the pan pastel greens I've already used as well. I'm just going to kind of blend these down. So again, anytime I'm reaching into my pan pastels, I'm grabbing my darkest colors. And then we're going to I'm thinking lupins are all kinds of colors. We want to put some lupins in here. Lupins come in purples and pinks. They are so easy. Hey, Shanna. The gang's all here. And this is that permanent green extra dark that I'm working with right now. And look at the way that's just blending all those different values and colors of green, giving us that nice tall grass. I don't have to be super, particular about it. Just work those in. Don't overthink that. In a moment, we will put some flowers in here. I mean, this has definitely torn up this side of my tool, of that applicator, but I'm not worried about that. I said, these are not, it's not the Softwool brand. And I think I like that because they weren't very precious, you know? I'm just taking any areas where I see like I had like maybe a little extra or pastel or a blunt spot that I wanted to pull it up, like the grass is growing there, and doing that. Okay, let's put some color in here. Let's make some lupins. Lupins, they're so easy, right? We got some dots. It'll kind of like that. I'm starting with like a dot at the top, and then just kind of get a little bit wider as they come down. This does not have to be perfect. You know what? If there's another flower that looks kind of like a lupin, and that's, you know, the area where that person is from that's viewing this painting, they might say, oh, those are, you know, whatever that flower is that they're used to seeing. Okay, some are multi. This is where it gets a little harder when you're trying to, you know, put that stick right just in that perfect spot. It gets easier the more you do it. If you guys are liking this, the stream today, I would appreciate it if you would take a second and hit that like button. It definitely helps. Okay, let's see, what other color lupins? You know, we used a little bit of this yellow. Why don't we bring some yellow in? I've seen yellow lupins. Not here. We don't have yellow lupins. We have pink ones, and we have pink and white. We have deep purple. Oh, that one got a little wild. That's all right. Maybe there's two there. Yeah. Maybe there's some, you know, maybe some of these are daffodils. Daffodils are an early flower. That could be. What if there's some out here in the distant grass? I'm just going to put some little specks, especially in where it's highlighted. Maybe there's some flowers out there just starting to sprout up. Maybe we got some purple out there too. Trying to be as random as possible with these little speckles in my field. I'm also trying to be, you know, conscious not to make every single one the same height, because that definitely wouldn't necessarily all be the same height. If I made a mark that I didn't like, guess what? I just put a bigger flower on top of it in the foreground. Yeah, Rob, that is a great suggestion. You could absolutely pull out some pastel pencils, if you want to do some more precise flowers, that would be great. I'm going to take this nice deep purple here. This is from the Pan Pastel Extra Dark set, the color that I'm using right now. And let me see if I can shift you again, because there we go. We will try to back out so you can see the whole thing here in a minute. We're almost done. I have some new pastel pencils to try that Lindsay had. Lindsay and I actually, it was funny because we actually had both purchased them before we knew the other had purchased them. She has already reviewed them here on YouTube. They are the Color pastel pencils, and she liked them. So I'm really looking forward to giving those a try. If I was doing more detail or have more time today, that would certainly be a great one to pull out. Just trying to make this feel like lupins. Like the lupins I have some that are really dark purple with the lighter on top like that. And again, kind of out here, I could, if I wanted to, use my toothbrush and kind of spatter for speckles out here, kind of like I would do if I was doing like seafoam. And that might work nicely. I tend to get to like pattern. Your brain just loves patterns, and it will certainly start doing things in patterns without you even realizing it. Just trying to maybe pull in some stems. Kind of anchor that one was a little thick, but that's okay. Not worried about it. It's fine. And you could certainly, if you wanted, see, I thought about like daisies or something, and I was like, well, daisies are kind of more summer, not first flowers. And here I was thinking, still snow on the mountains, maybe the first flowers that come up. Lupins are one of the early flowers we get here in Maine. We have lupins in June. And you might be thinking, Angela, that's the middle of the summer. I think they're like around the end of May, beginning of June, that they start blooming. And for us, I mean, we've had snow. It doesn't happen often, but we have had snow on Mother's Day. So yeah, the end of May, that is the beginning of spring for us. All right, I'm just going to bring a few more marks in, just so it doesn't look like all my flowers. If I go in front of one, it's fine. So I don't want them to look like they're all sitting forward. I want them pushed back in there. So I'm not going to be worried about if one of these goes over something I've done. Let's get a little bit of brighter green in here. trying to remember, hey, grass grows in all different directions, right? Don't try to make all your marks the same way. Let's get some variety. Bring some of that back here too. And I quickly realized, hey, we're starting to get a pattern going. All right. What do you guys think? If you're watching this on the replay, drop me a comment. If you decide, you know what, you're going to give this a go and you're going to paint something based on this painting, please tag me. I would love to see it. You can, of course, drop a comment in the community post. I made a community post on YouTube that I was going to be doing this painting. Are you ready to back out and see what we've got going on here? Let me grab a white so I can wash off my fingers. I am very pastel, but not too bad. Not too bad. Tap. I've got quite a bit of dust in that little catch that I showed you at the very beginning of the stream. Oh, look at that. Okay, so let's see if we can't. I don't know how to make this zoom out. Sorry, I just tapped that camera. Let's see if we can get it to zoom out. And it just looks like it's cutting me off now. Let me switch it and come back. There we go. There we go. We're very zoomed out now. You see my big old messy studio. Now, look at that. What do you think? Zoom you back in a little bit. Oops. I will just turn that so you can see better. What do you think of our painting today? I hope you enjoyed that. Yeah, full view. There you go. Yeah, Carbothello. Pit pastels I don't have. I know that those are one of the harder ones. Carbothello I have. And Lindsay said that the Color pastel pencils, which I can show you. I haven't used them yet. That they are very similar to the Carbothello. So they look like this guy. You can get these on Amazon. I have links to Amazon in the description below. I don't have links to these yet, but I will be using these soon. If you guys want to see these, definitely drop me a comment and let me know, and I will pull those out for the next time I work on a pastel piece so we can give them a try and see how they do. I think I might want a little bit more shadows in my mountain back here, but I'm going to leave this on the easel so I can come back and look at it. I do like to work kind of, like I said, alla prima. It's one and it's done. I don't often come back to things, but yeah. Yes, please, let's do it. Yeah. Yeah, we will. I'll make note to bring the Color pencils out for the next piece that we do. I think we could have more flowers. You can have as many flowers as you want to. I feel like, it's spring and they're just starting to come up. Maybe we have some more colors in here, some buds just starting. Lots of purples. Oh, we see lots of purples. Put some down in here. Let's just throw in some more flowers. Why not? About a few more yellow. And then in June, by mid-June, oh, we have poppies that'll be blooming here. That's another flower. We see those when we go to the Coastal Maine Botanical Gardens. I go with the girls here, the Maine girls. Every June. I like that better. Some more, putting in some extra flowers. You can have pink ones too if you wanted to. I don't think I'm going to add pink right now because I think we're about done. I have a dinner date and it's an hour away, so I'm going to have to get myself going. Well, how about the tape peel? Want to see the tape peel? I did leave a little bit extra on the sides. It always looks so much better once we peel the tape, doesn't it? And the reason that I left, look at that, extra space on the side is so that I can handle it without messing up my pastel work. If I wanted to spray this with a fixative, I could. I'm not going to worry about it. It's fine. I'm going to tip this forward so if any dust comes off, it will just fall right off of my, won't land on my painting. That is the one thing about the sanded paper. I find that it releases the tape really well. Okay. Again, this is just taped to an MDF panel that I hadn't unwrapped yet. Sorry if that was loud. Okay, and it like a little bit of curl, but remember we used the alcohol on that, so only slightly. This paper, and it definitely does not curl like UArt curls. So, what do you guys think? I hope you enjoyed this one. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you know somebody else that enjoys pastel, maybe share the video. That would be very helpful. And yeah, we should be getting back to regular streams now. So I look forward to hanging out with everyone. And look at that. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and just set that down. There we go. Boom. So anyways, thank you guys so much. I can't wait. It looks great. Thank you. Yeah, if there's no questions, if anybody has a question, drop it in the chat now. Otherwise, we are going to be done. I hope you all have a great evening. Enjoy your weekend. And yeah, just watching just in case. Any questions? Okay. Until next time, my friends, keep creating, and I will see you in a video real soon. Bye, guys.